Have you ever wished you could point to one spot where every scrap of confusing, messy data about a person, a shipment, or a threat suddenly becomes a neat, clickable map? Imagine a software that promises to do exactly that, to take piles of spreadsheets, surveillance feeds, and databases and turn them into a clear story. That company is Palantir, and it's quietly become the plumbing behind a lot of the agencies that keep modern society running. And the agencies that make people uncomfortable. Today we're peeling back the curtain. Who are they? What do they actually do? And why do so many governments, corporations, and privacy advocates care so much? In the next few minutes, we'll cover how Palantir started, the core products that power agencies, real-world uses, why it's controversial, and how to think about the trade-offs between power and privacy. Let's get into it. Palantir was founded in 2003 by a group of Silicon Valley folks, including Peter Thiel, who helped fund it, and technologists who'd worked on security and data projects. The name is a wink to J.R.R. Tolkien. Palantir are crystal balls that let someone see across distances. That image is useful. Palantir's pitch is, we let people see connections and patterns in data they otherwise couldn't. They started with early interest from intelligence and government circles. Those customers have some of the most complicated, sensitive, and fragmented data ecosystems. Think phone records, travel histories, sensor feeds, and those agencies need ways to fuse that all together. Palantir built a product to do exactly that. Palantir's offerings come in three big flavors. Gotham. This is the version built for government and intelligence customers. Analysts use it to connect disparate datasets. If you have suspicious transactions, travel logs, and social network links, Gotham helps analysts visualize the relationships and run queries to find the signal in the noise. Foundry. This is the commercial cousin. Companies use Foundry to integrate their business data, factories, suppliers, sales, into a single environment. For example, a manufacturer might use it to spot where a supplier delay will cascade into a product shortage. Apollo. Think of Apollo as the engine that keeps Gotham and Foundry running across cloud providers, secure networks, or on isolated government systems. It handles deployment, updates, and the gritty logistics of running the software where it's needed. A simple metaphor is an organization's data is a messy attic full of boxes. Palantir builds the map, labels the boxes, connects the tags, and gives you tools to ask questions like which boxes contain parts from supplier X, or who's been talking to whom, and then shows you the answer visually and quickly. Under the hood, it's a lot of engineering, but the concept is straightforward. Data connectors bring in many sources, databases, spreadsheets, sensors. The software normalizes and links that data so it can be used together. Analysts use visual tools, search, and graph. Maps that show relationships between people, places, and things. Models and simulations can be run on top of that integrated dataset. Throughout, Palantir emphasizes provenance and control. Who accessed what, where the data came from, and who changed it. One important point. Palantir often positions itself as human-in-the-loop software. That means it doesn't claim to make decisions for you. It gives analysts tools to explore and recommend actions, and humans make the final calls. That's important for high-stakes areas like national security or disaster response. Palantir shows up in a surprising variety of places. Counterterrorism and intelligence. Agencies have used Palantir to link disparate datasets and find meaningful connections that would be hard to catch by manual means. Disaster response and public health. During crises, Palantir's software has helped officials track supply chains for medical equipment, analyze case data, and coordinate logistics. Corporate supply chains. Companies with global suppliers use Foundry to avoid bottlenecks and predict problems before they ripple through production. Law enforcement and immigration. Police and immigration agencies have used Palantir to connect crime reports, social media, and surveillance data to generate leads. Those last uses are the flashpoint. When tools that connect data are used for surveillance, profiling, or deportation decisions, they raise hard ethical and legal questions. Palantir's tech is powerful, and power attracts scrutiny. Key concerns include surveillance and civil liberties. If you can stitch together everything about a person, location, purchases, contacts, you can surveil them in ways that would have been impossible before. Civil liberties groups worry about mission creep. Tools built for one purpose can be repurposed to do others. Opacity. Some critics say the company's engagement with government agencies is secretive and that people affected by automated or semi-automated decisions often don't get transparency or recourse. Law enforcement use. When police use such tools, questions arise about bias in data, who's being targeted, and whether the system amplifies existing inequalities. Public protest and scrutiny. Palantir has faced protests from employees and activists over contracts with certain government agencies. Those debates highlight that tech workers and the public are increasingly concerned about the social impacts of their tools. Palantir and its defenders say the company builds tools for lawful, critical uses, counterterrorism, saving lives, tracking pandemics, and that controls, auditing, and human judgment are part of the package. But critics say controls aren't always enough. Legal frameworks, independent oversight, and public debate are essential too. Palantir went public in 2020 and trades under the ticker PLTR. Its business model mimics enterprise software, big contracts, long deployments, and a mix of government and commercial customers. Because Palantir often works with mission-critical data, its contracts can be lucrative and long-term. But this also means the company sits at the center of a broader societal question. How do we balance the operational benefits of powerful data tools against risks to privacy, fairness, and democratic oversight? So where does that leave us? Palantir is a fascinating example of how software can change the balance of information in our world. On one hand, better tools can save lives, prevent attacks, and make supply chains resilient. On the other, those same tools can enable invasive surveillance if misused. If you care about these issues, a few practical things matter. Transparency about how data is used, independent audits of systems that affect people's rights, and clear legal guardrails that define acceptable uses. Technology won't solve those questions by itself. Society has to. If this topic left you curious, tell me in the comments. Should powerful data tools like Palantir be tightly restricted? Or do their benefits outweigh the risks? Like this video if you enjoyed the explanation. Subscribe for more deep dives into technology that shapes our world, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and keep asking good questions about who holds the data and how it's used.